Hey guys, and welcome back to another video of Rough Rider Restorations. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how daily driving these old classic trucks, you know, these beauties that everyone loves, how that goes. And right now I'm pulling out of work, but honestly, it's not half as bad as you'd think it would be. Don't get me wrong, every old truck or every old car has their own like personality. That's what I'm looking for. Every old vehicle has their own personality. Ooh, like this truck being bumpy on everything because of its lift kit. But you know, honestly, it's not bad. On this truck specifically, it needs a steering box. So as I'm going straight down the road, you're probably going to see me doing this the whole time. Like I'm going straight right now. I kid you not. But you know, I put a new steering stabilizer on it, all new shocks. It doesn't ride bad at all, especially for being on a 4-inch lift on 35.5s. Wait, 35s by 12.5s. That's what I got on this truck. But you know, the gauge is actually 5 mile an hour off because of the lift kit and the big tires. My boss is behind me and he probably thinks I'm crazy because I keep looking over at the camera to talk to you guys. He pulled out the same time I did. So yeah, honestly, it isn't that bad. Like I go through town and I can go in and out of traffic just fine. It isn't a big deal. The acceleration isn't like a new vehicle. Like you can get in a Honda Accord and you definitely beat this thing in a race, but there's just an unmatched feeling of driving an old vehicle versus something new. I got this, I got my 70 F350, and I got a 2013 F350 as well. And the old trucks, they're just so much more fun to drive in my opinion. On this truck, I do have the bigger tow mirrors on it so I can actually see behind me. The factory mirrors on this truck, I swear they're like this big. You guys have probably seen factory inside mirrors, you know. They're tiny, you can't see anything. But the reason this tractor knob's on here is because when I got the truck, the power steering pump wasn't working, so I put this on here. And turns out it just needed tightened up. So it's all good now. I can turn with one finger, and I probably could have went there, but it is okay because that person's in the middle of the intersection. Well, people are dumb. But that's Chillicothe driving for you. You can't expect very much out of it, I tell you that much right there, okay? Can I go now? Yes, I can. Woohoo! But yeah, like I said, the worst part about this truck is probably being bumpy with potholes and stuff like that. It does have a brand new torque converter in it. I think it's a 1900 to 2100 stall that I put in it. So it can pull a little bit more, a little bit, I forget. I think it's actually a lower stall than the factory. But yeah, my boss is about to pull up right beside me. He's probably going to look over here and call me crazy. But that is okay. So I'm going to stop talking for a second. There he goes. Bye-bye. Okay, so yeah, something else about this truck. The radio works about half the time. So I got this big old speaker right below you that I use to listen to my music. And it bumps this thing out like I'm going down the road like a Clutchwood 300. Man, that was a big old bump right there. Can you imagine that? Here's another one, a 3, 2, 1. Right there. Oh, that wasn't that bad. That is the second sheriff I've passed on my way home from work. Guys, it isn't a long drive home from work either. Like it's like a 20-minute drive through town because I don't like taking the highway because this thing needs a new beef gas on it for the transmission. And if I go like 55, it starts slipping on me. So yeah, that's fun. Well, guys, we're in jack now, as you can probably not hear anything because the darn thing's real loud. But we're on our way to Kingston right now. I'm going to go ahead and top off the fuel tank, then we're going to stop by a car wash because this thing is DIRTEY30, I tell you that much. But honestly, this truck, it isn't bad to drive. It is the 4-speed. It's got a 360 FE. It's just a 2-wheel drive dually. But it honestly impresses me with how much it can haul. I have a Grasshopper diesel and then a Kubota diesel, and I can load those both on my trailer, and this will pull it just fine. You can tell that there's something back there, but it's not anything really bad, you know what I mean? It doesn't slug it down a lot. It does pretty good. The main thing on this truck is all the lights need to be looked at. Like the headlights work, one of the tail lights work, but the brake lights don't work because of the trailer brakes that are on the truck. It does have trailer brakes. The brake lights don't work, and the turn signal relays are out, so it's all manual turn signaling over here, on and off. But honestly, and then no backup lights either, forgot about that. But it's not a bad truck. I do usually take off in second gear. I know it's a 4-speed, but I just prefer taking off in second gear in this truck because first gear is like 3 mile an hour, 5 mile an hour. It's really, really slow. Unless I have a load, then of course I will take off the first. And then third gear, I usually take up to about 30 mile an hour. And then sometimes when I put it in fourth, you can hear that right there. That's just because the truck hasn't warmed up yet. When the truck warms up, that gets fine. You don't hear that anymore. Right now I'm going up a hill in low fourth gear, and it's not bogging at all. It's doing pretty good. You'd think for an older V8 like this, it's one of the smaller V8s, 360 FE. They also have 390 FE, which is pretty much a bored out 360. You'd think for how small it is that it wouldn't be this good at going up hills nice, pulling nice, but I'm pretty sure that this thing has like 513 gears in it, so it does have a lot of torque. It'd probably pull some modern half tons. But it tops out at 55. Fastest I've had it is like 61, 62 maybe. This truck doesn't have power steering, doesn't have power brakes. So this truck I would probably consider more of a classic than Fred, which is my 78 that we were just in, just because of the fact that, like I said, no power steering, no power brakes, manual, no RPM gauge. The heat kind of works. The radio doesn't work. I have a new heater for it put in and all new seals to put around the doors and like the windshield and stuff like that. But overall, this is a fun, solid truck to drive. I might trust this truck to go further than I would trust Fred to go. I just feel like this truck is a little bit more reliable because it's more focused mechanically than Fred. Because Fred is a 78, this is a 70, so they have a few more years to put in like computer stuff to the truck. I know it's nothing like modern days, but if you guys kind of know what I'm saying. But this truck does get worse gas mileage than my 78. I think this thing gets like, it gets right at 4, my 78 is like 4 to 7, give or take. But yeah, this thing does get worse gas mileage, but of course that's to be expected. The engine in this has been rebuilt at one point. I don't know when exactly, but it was the previous owner that did it. Has shorty headers, a full new exhaust system. The new exhaust system, besides the headers, was actually put on the owner before me and after me. What happened is I had this truck, and then I traded this truck, and then I missed this truck, so I bought it back. And that dude also put a whole new front end on it pretty much. So yeah, actually, I got a pretty good deal on this truck. When it's idling, you can almost not hear anything. You can just kind of hear wobble, 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 wobble. It has a pretty little idle to it. But then if I rev it up, it goes, pow, 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 pow. Alright guys, you already know me, I'm Ryan. This is Rough Ride Restorations, 1970, F350. That hurt, that is a solid bed, but I tell you what, this thing hauls, especially if you're having a bed as big as the thing that is on this. I believe it has 513 gears in it, like I already told you guys. 360 with a 4-speed. Overall, it's a really, really solid truck. You can take it over the frame. It's just minor surface rust. It's really not bad at all. That was the new exhaust system that I was talking to you guys about. It runs all the way down the truck, from shorty headers. And overall, the truck is just like Connor's 82 over here. It has a really, really nice patina to it. The wheels, I would like to get polished up just a little bit more. They're not quite what I'm wanting, but they're really close to being nice and shiny. I got to thank for big chrome wheels on old crappy vehicles. But you know, you get in it. The interior is not terrible. All my gauges do work, and they're all pretty accurate. But it doesn't have something like a tack on it. Actually, no, I lied. The temp gauge does not work. And ignore all my junk that's in there too. But just like I said, 4-speed. The gears are really far apart in this truck because there's 1, 2, and 3 is all the way over here at 4. So you start up the truck, it starts up real nice, great. I have had it running. Real good, starts right up. But I'll show you guys what I got under this truck. The engine does look fairly redone. It looks pretty good. Don't mind my zip ties on my breather cap. That's just minor details that need to be worked out. But overall, it is a really nice engine. Like Connor said, he has a 302 it is. I think with mine being a 360 and a little bit earlier model, I think it has a similar power, even though mine does have bigger, more cubic inches than any engine itself. But overall, it's a nice engine. The previous owner redid the whole entire thing, had it out. There's no fan cover, so don't stick your finger down in there. That will not be a fun time. It has a new fuel, mechanical fuel pump on it, so that's brand new, so that's why I trust this thing so much. It looks like it's got redone heads on it, and that looks like the factory sticker right there, which is pretty cool. But overall, it really is a nice, solid, fun daily driver. That's for sure. I don't feel bad if I like get it scratched up. I don't feel bad if I have to pull something out of a ditch and I get a little bit muddy. It's just something nice. I'm not saying I beat on it. I don't beat on any of my stuff unless it's on my car. But I'm just saying it's a really nice rig to daily drive. Besides it not having very good. That's not very fun. But other than that, pretty fan freaking good.
Hey everybody, my name is Connor, and this is my 1982 Ford F100. It's an XL. It's got some good patina to it. It was originally a farm truck before. It started off as a farm truck, and my boss over with Best Towing, he bought it and used it to haul tires back and forth, and that's all he ever used it for. It has 2 brand new gas tanks, but I only use the front tank. I don't trust that whole switching back and forth. But I'll show you guys the powerhouse. It's got a mid-90s seat in it, I'm pretty sure. Speedometer don't work, but most of my gauges work. I just use an app on my phone. I'm working on fixing it. It has a 302, brand new carburetor, brand new plugs, brand new wires, brand new cap. Put a new master on it, and a new power box. Because that, if you look on the back, all the plastic melted out of the old one, ran down the finger well. But it leaks a little power steering fluid, and it has a little rear main seal leak. But it's overall a good truck. It has a brand new radiator on it, and the heat's really good. It gets really hot. But overall, it's got some good patina to it, and it has a lot of potential.
Guys, I'm sitting shotgun in my own rig. Something about this does not feel right. Connor's getting the hang of it. The shifter pattern's really far apart. It's probably not used to that. No power steering. How's that?
It's weird. It's different.
I mean, you're not doing bad. I stalled it my first time driving it.
I'm used to driving stick.
Yeah. This was the vehicle I learned to stick in.
Well, it's a good rig too, because the clutch pedal is really.
The clutch is really good in this truck. Third gear is about 30 miles an hour. Look at that big ear right there.
I'm on the road, I think.
Manual crank windows, you know, the best the 70s had to offer right here.
Are these manual brakes?
Yeah, they're manual brakes. There ain't no booster in this truck. No
Yeah,
booster.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it's got F350 suspension too from the 70s.
Yeah, it's bouncy.
It is very bouncy, unless you have a trailer on. If you have a trailer, it isn't bouncy.
All that weight holds those springs down.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oop.
Yeah, you're going what, 33 here? I was going 53 here on the way up. My dad he's not used to these 4 speeds. I'm in 4th gear going 50 and he says, shift! And I said, I can't! I mean, it's got race mode.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap it in race mode.
That's a really good idea. Slap it in race mode at about 50 and see what happens. Hope you know how to work on stuff.
She smokes quite a bit out the tailpipe.
Oh, that's just sweating horsepower.
Yeah.
Got a dash full of hats over here. I think I got a Rough Ride Restorations hat here somewhere. Yeah, look at there.
What do you think, Ryan?
Well, it's got some really stiff gas and the window whistles, but realistically, it isn't very much louder than my truck. Actually, it's quieter than my truck, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's definitely quieter. But like the steering wheel is really straight. You're not all over the road. But you know, again, that's power steering for you. That's kind of how Fred is if he had a new steering box. The power steering, you know, is just one finger. You can go all the way around. I love how everyone's just looking at like my beautiful chin hairs that I can't grow up here.
It's so beautiful, Ryan.
Thank you, thank you. But yeah, honestly, it drives really nice. Besides the pedal being really stiff, like you have to push with your whole entire foot to get this pedal to go. Unlike my trucks, it's like, oh, toe, me. But it has really good handling too. Like I got on it on that corner and it didn't even act like anything. The suspension's really soft. You don't feel, you know, every pebble in the road.
It's because it's an F100.
I've had F-150, I've had F-150s, F-350s, F-450. I've never had an F-100 or an F-250.
I think that the F100 is the same thing as the F150.
Yeah, but in the F100s, usually they had the C4 transmissions instead of the C6 transmissions, and a lot of the time, instead of a 4.9-inch in the rear, they would have a 4.8.8 in the rear.
Yeah, this has a C4 transmission. I'm pretty certain of it.
Yeah, the C4 was the lighter-duty C6 transmissions.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're the same 3 speeds, it's just they weren't capable of holding up to as much horsepower or torque. And typically they didn't last as long either, so if I ever had an F100, I would actually probably do a C6 swap, depending on the housing of the engine that's in it. This big a 302 would be kind of hard to find. Well, no, it would be super hard to find a C6 for, but to find one, you know, that's in good shape. Actually, is this a 2-wheel drive truck?
Yeah.
I have a C6, I'll sell you for a 2-wheel drive truck.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I'm being honest. But yeah, I bought it for Fred when I did the torque converter. But it turns out it's for a 2-wheel drive truck and a 4-wheel drive truck. And Fred is in fact a 4-wheel drive truck. It's a Bubba truck.
4-wheel drive.
4-wheel drive. If you ain't got no 4-wheel drive, what are you 2-wheel doing?
I mean, we only have winter for like a week here, but
Yeah,
it's
really.
nice.
We only have winter for a week.
This thing has factory cruise control, and I think if I put a steering wheel cover on it and hook
Yeah.
up them wires, it'll probably work.
Yeah, like the little trim piece for it.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool. It has factory cruise control for an XL.
Yeah.
What?
It's nice. I like how it has crank windows too, for being an XL.
Well, yeah, all XLs had crank windows.
Did they?
Yeah. But I'm surprised that it has cruise control being an XL. My work trucks that I had, the 90 and the 94, neither of them had cruise control, and they were both XLs. Granted, they were base model truck F350 and F450 OBSs, but they didn't have that. But that's pretty cool. I saw the little buttons for it. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, it's got cruise control. I really want a horn because I like honking my horn. So I need to get that fixed.
Or just put a Dixie horn in it like I did Fred.
That's what I'm thinking about. It's got all new front end components on it.
It does?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
As of when?
As of, I have no idea. But I looked under there and they all look brand new.
Do you think it's actually 38,000 miles or do you think it's 130,000?
Well, it doesn't work. So it probably...
I bet you it's about 70,000.
That's what I was about to say. Probably about 70,000. It's never really left Chillicothe.
Now it's in Adelphi.
Well, now it's in Adelphi, but it was a farm truck, and then all that my boss used it for was going to Adena Road and going to Hallsville back and forth.
Really?
Yep, with tires.
That's not bad.
Yep. Goes to just the tire hauler.
I bet you, it's funny, it looks like a 500,000 mile truck, but it drives like, it drives like it came off the showroom floor. It drives great. There's almost no play in this steering wheel.
It's because it's a farm truck. That's why it's all rusty.
Well, that's like Jack. I think it only has 100-something thousand miles on it. I don't think it's, over that. But, it being a 70, and it actually came from Texas, I don't think that's bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, it's a nice truck. Does the AC work?
I'm taking it off. I don't really know if it works.
I'll buy it off.
It doesn't kick on, so probably not.
Really?
Yeah, with the defrost, you don't hear it kick on. So.
Does the radio work? Factory radio? That's pretty cool.
It does not work. I think the speaker's blown out of it. That looks pretty bad.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sun probably see.
Yeah, I don't think that works.
Yeah, the sun got to it. So.
It's okay. The sun gets to a lot of things. Well, guys, that's just about all I wanted to do for this video. I'd say I'm pretty happy. Connor definitely does have a nice truck. That is my first time ever driving that truck. I've seen it a few times in person. Other than that, I ain't never done nothing with it. That's the first time he's ever driven my truck, so that is a true 100% genuine reaction. But overall, I definitely have to say that driving an older vehicle does have some advantages. If you like your luxuries and your comforts and fancy stuff like heat. There's a student driver in front of me. There's a student driver in front of me, and I'm trying to let him go, and this is rough to watch. They're in a brand new Hyundai too, so that is another reason you do not want to drive a new vehicle, because people might mix you up to be a student driver, and you don't want people to mix you up being that, because that means you're not a good driver. That's exactly what that means, because there'll be an instructor in your passenger seat. If you have a new vehicle, there's going to be an instructor in your passenger seat. I have no clue where I'm going with this, but overall, old vehicles are the best and the world. I tell you that much right now. They're just fun to drive, whether it be hard to drive, easy to drive. They're just fun, and you just feel like these new vehicles. I feel like I'm giving a sermon here on old vehicles, but the new vehicles, you drive new vehicles, but old vehicles drive you. You get to feel like a connection with the vehicle when it's something old, like something like this, without power brakes, without power steering, manual transmission. Even when you get a truck like Connor's, and that thing's got all the fancy stuff of the year, even though it is an XL. But even though it has all the nice luxuries and stuff, it's still nice to drive something old hop in. You get stares at, you get people talking to you. Like we were just sitting there in the parking lot getting ready to head out, and this old dude came up to us and he just started talking to us about these trucks. And, it's just stuff like that. You cherish memories like that. But yeah, if you are scrolling Marketplace and you find an old truck, you need to buy that old truck, because that is something you need. Okay, it's not something you need, but it's something that you should definitely want, because old vehicles are so much fun. And they teach you so much stuff too, like as far as working on vehicles, working on older vehicles is so much easier than working on new vehicles. Like the comparison is stupid. Maybe don't buy an F350 for your first old vehicle, because they're very bouncy and very uncomfortable. Okay, it's not super uncomfortable, but as you can see, I am bouncing all over the EE place. Bouncy, 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 and I'm only going 40 miles an hour. Well, big bump. But, yep. That's all I got to say about that. Thank you guys for tuning in to another video of Rough Ride Restorations, and I will see you in the next one.